but I'm sure there's a mix of excitement and nerves running through him right now.
Absolutely. Playing your first game in the show, it's just a little different for everyone, but no one walks in unfazed by the moment. I don't care what they say to anybody, and that's especially true as a starting pitcher that's expected to go out there and give your team a quality outing. All eyes will be on him out there on the ball. Should be fun to watch and see how it plays out.
Okay, all set to go. Up now for Milwaukee, Joe Brandon.
First pitch, 136.
And now it's even up, Rutledge. A big part of the storyline for us today. He's making his debut and hoping to carve out a valuable role in the mound at this ball club. Just missed.
At this point, it doesn't matter if you're a first rounder or an undrafted free agent. All that matters once you reach this level is producing. Can you help your team?
Oh, can't pick it up cleanly. Gets off a throw, and it's in time. It wasn't the smoothest play you'll see today, but they still get the out. Next for Milwaukee, Joe Brandon. 4 for 12 in the series so far. That one finds the zone. Strike one. Right through there for a strike.
Absolutely frozen on that heater right down the middle, and that's a pitch you're just not getting back. Now he's in a tough spot, especially after falling behind on a good first pitch.
Caught him looking for the K, and that's the first strikeout of his major league career.
And it could be the first of many if he meets the goals he set for himself and the expectations others have for him. He doesn't want to just win games. He wants to dominate at this level.
Do you think young pitchers can sometimes get too caught up in trying to rack up Ks early in their career?
Boog, I think they can. It's kind of like a hitter that doesn't have power. The thrill is still hitting a ball over the fence. And so for a guy, even if he doesn't have power stuff or strikeout stuff, a strikeout is still something that makes him stick his chest out a little bit further.
That's the third. Boots it. Still finds a way to get off a throw. Wide throw pulls him off the bag, and the inning's still alive.
See, Boog, that right there, that's a perfect example of why he shouldn't be out there at that position. He clearly isn't comfortable. He doesn't look fluid. His footwork's all over the place, and he just can't make that throw to beat the runner.
Here's Aaron Hicks. 5 for 14 in the series coming in. Just missed. Hicks batting in the cleanup spot, a former first-round pick back in 2008. And that's way high, and the count is 2-0.
He's been raking in recent games, and a big reason why, getting ahead in counts. He's been able to do that consistently, and you see the results.
And there's the automatic. In the air, left field, down the line. Can't get there, and it deflects off him.
The first move felt like a bit of a guess. You have to be right in those spots, or things can get away from you awfully quickly.
First and second, 2 outs. Random now at the plate. And that is out of play. Pitch misses there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, triple digits on the gun. I know there are more pitchers that can reach that now than in the past, but it's still impressive to watch.
Random makes the grab, and that is that. Back at Truist Park, on the hill here today, Nelson Garcia.
There's always a bit of a learning curve for rookie pitchers. You've got to get familiar with these big league hitters, and it's more of a chess match, but I think this kid's got good stuff and the potential to be great.
Now in for the Braves, Joe Brandon.
No ball, 1 strike.
The next offering misses, and 1-1. Fastball right back to the mound. On to first. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Brian Snitker's lineup for the Braves. They're facing a pitcher today who's prone to giving up homers, so we'll see. We might get some big swings here today.
Yeah, I think the key, though, and the reason why he gives up those homers is that guys are locking in, they're aggressive, and they have a high confidence level. So I think if that's the approach these hitters take, with the stuff he's got there on the mound, yeah, there's a good chance that there'll be some balls that fly a long way. But you can't get too big in your swing, otherwise you'll be really frustrated after this one.
Joe Brandon, the next to hit, struggling a little bit in this series. He's 2 for 12. Bunted back towards the mound. Tosses to first, out on the sac bunt.
Batting fourth, catcher number 1.
So the go-ahead run in scoring position. Brandon digs in now. Just 1 for 12 in the series coming in. That one hammered, but pulled foul. Brandon on at second with 2 down.
Oh, 1-1.
Ground ball right side. And it finds its way through for a hit. The throw in. It's off the mark and he scores.
He's in there.
Well done. Drives in the run. Not much to this one other than just a willingness to go the other way and put the ball in play. That's a team at bat right there. Nice job of staying back and letting the ball get deep.
Joe Brandon in now. Takes ball 1 off the plate. Swings through that one for strike 1.
I think he was sitting off speed there.
And that one gets past the catcher. Throw to second, not in time. He's there easily. 2 outs and 1 in scoring position. This one kicks away a little as he can't squeeze it. That one the other way, makes the grab, and that'll end the inning. But they pick up 1 run on the RBI single. And we're back. Now the third baseman, Joe Brandon.
Number 24.
Rutledge back to work. And that gets the inside corner for a strike. Line drive. Oh, he gloves it.
It's never fun going back to the dugout after hitting a line drive that finds a glove, but you will get some high fives. You know, when you make great contact, you feel like you've done everything right. But in this game of baseball, not everything is in your control.
Joe Brandon, the batter now as he swings and misses for strike 1. Right side. Whips it to first. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the second. And the batter will be the shortstop, Joe Brandon. That one missed.
I think he wanted that call on the upper part of the zone, but just didn't get it. Now he's just trying to get a better feel for how much it missed so he can adjust his sights just a little bit.
The next pitch misses. 2-0. 2 out, space is empty. Headed towards the corner. Brandon on the move. Flashes the leather on the running catch. And that'll do it. Nothing across here this half. Back here in Atlanta, bottom of the second. Now it's the shortstop, Joe Brandon.
Number 15.
Popped in the air, left field. Hicks puts it away for the out. And there's 1 away. Joe Brandon will hit next.
Just pulled off of it a little bit right there. That front shoulder coming open instead of staying closed. If he does that, he's going to be able to go up the middle the other way with some authority instead of a fly out to left.
That's off the mark, and that's ball 1. Rusty Valentine doing the umpiring behind the dish for us. Maybe the best name in the league.
Yeah, that's a solid one, no doubt. I mean, who's better to ask than you? I kind of wonder if Rusty is his actual name or just a nickname.
Yeah, no clue. just missed.
Anyways, Rusty's got a good zone, very good on the corners of the plate, but he'll give pitchers a little bit above the letters and below the knees if they're earning it.
And a swing and a miss, and there are 2 down.
He's locked in at the plate when he's using the whole
Batting
field.
eighth,
He was out in front
center
there.
fielder,
Just needs to let the
number
ball travel a
14.
little more, and his timing will be back on track. Good pitch for the strikeout.
Digging in, Joe Brandom.
1 ball, no strike.
Here's a swing and a line drive, and that's a base hit into right field. And that extends the inning.
Batting ninth,
So digging in,
first
Joe
baseman,
Brandom.
number 18.
And that drops in for a strike.
0-1.
And that's fouled off. Checks his swing. Now an appeal to first. And he went around. Not an easy call there, but that puts an end to the inning. Braves strand 1. They lead it 1-0. And welcome back to the
Leading off for the
ballpark.
Brewers,
All set for the
center
start of the
fielder,
inning. Up
number
now for
10.
Milwaukee, Joe Brandom. Close, but called a ball. And that is ball 1. And that's a little high. Fastball for a strike. Swing and a miss.
He has a tendency to chase out of the zone, and that slider that's down, that's one of his money pitches to get that swing and miss.
Got him. What away.
Well, definitely a borderline pitch right there, and he didn't look too convinced as he headed back to the dugout.
Number
You know, those are tough
27.
ones to let go as a hitter, but with the human umpire calling balls and strikes, it's always going to be on you to protect yourself with 2 strikes.
Joe Brandom now at the plate. Right through there for a strike. One out, base is empty. That one catches the zone. 0-2 now.
He doesn't seem to like the pitch up. Hasn't offered on either one of those pitches. 0-2 count now. I think the guy's going to climb the ladder out there.
One down, base is empty. Fights it off. He'll see another. Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row.
Really love the pitch sequence right there. I'm telling you what, pitcher and catcher are on the same page right now.
Number 25.
Joe Brandom up now for the Brewers. He was a strikeout victim his first time. And that's outside. And that's ball 1. Swing and a base hit. Just kind of sliced that one into center. Juan
Now
Munoz
number
getting
29.
ready to hit. Reached on an infield single his first time. Pitch
That's a ball.
misses. Ball 1.
1-0.
Two outs. Swing and a high fly ball, well struck. That one's carrying, and that gets down in the corner. Oh, the throw is over his head. Random around third. He'll score, and they've tied it. He'll make it up to third, and I'm sure that'll be an error of the outfielder. Aaron Hicks now. 1 for 1 with a single so far. First pitch doesn't find the zone.
1 ball, no strike.
Just missed.
Well, usually a high level of confidence when you're facing a young pitcher out there on the mound. In this situation, ahead 2-0, he's put himself in a really good spot.
Next pitch is outside.
Good pitchers make pitches in big situations, and right here with a middle of the order hitter up, runner in scoring position. He's got to find a way to throw a quality strike.
Munoz on third with 2 out. So now 2 on and 2 outs. Next for the Brewers, Joe Brandon. Flied out his first time. Clips the corner, and that's strike 1.
There was a high velocity fastball in the zone. I think a little frustration from walking the previous hitter. He's got good stuff. Pitch inside the zone and trust it.
Runners on first and third, 2 away. We're here in the top half of inning number 3. This one in the air. Brandon makes the grab, and that's the 3rd out. Run scoring double for the Brewers this inning. All even at 1 apiece. It's Major League Baseball, and it's on the show. Back at Truist Park. Now it's the second baseman, Joe Brandon.
Number 28.
First pitch, and he just misses. And that's in for a strike. Swings through that.
And he really sells the changeup with that arm action.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That K is his 3rd of the game.
Came inside with that 2-strike fastball nicely and just bunched him up on the inside part of the plate. Couldn't get around on it and catch it out front. Many times if you do, it's a foul ball. And you know, a lot of pitchers, they really don't like working inside with 2 strikes because they do not want to hit that batter. And when they've got him up against the ropes, got to figure out a way to put him away. Did a nice job right there.
Cut on and lifted in the air. Random. 2 up, 2 down. Next is the designated hitter, Joe Brandon. Outside with a breaking ball. Tied up here in the early going. Just missed. Next offering is down low. And there's the automatic.
3-1.
Late with the swing there.
3-2.
Swing and a miss. And he's down on strikes. And a nice inning of work there as he sets him down 1-2-3. And the Braves go down quietly. Score remains deadlocked at 1. And we're back on to the 4th. Here's the 3rd baseman, Joe Brandon. And a first pitch fastball is in for a strike.
Well, these Brewers showing great discipline at the plate, and patience definitely seems to be the name of their game in this one. He's only given up 1 run, but the starter's pitch count is starting to get up there, and that might be the best news yet for this offense.
Joe Brandon up now for the Brewers. Right through there for a strike.
It's just been an impressive outing so far. Continues to pound the zone pitch after pitch, and he's been able to stay down. That's what's been key.
And the slider just misses.
You know, sometimes all it takes is getting to the next arm before an offense does any damage, and that might be the case today.
That one misses. Now 2 balls and a strike. Swing and a foul out of play.
I wouldn't throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball. It's slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
Way outside, and the count's full. Got him swinging. Make it 4 strikeouts for him on the bump today.
Not the best location with the fastball on strike 3, but when you're pumping high 90s, you'll get away with some of those. More margin for error. You know, the fastball has become such a huge strikeout pitch in the sport, and I think a lot of it has to do with all the attention and emphasis on improved spin rates. These fastballs are just exploding out of the pitcher's hands and jumping through the zone.
Swing and a ground ball up the middle. To first, but it pulls him off the bag. Go ahead run on
Now
base. Random digs in now. Struck out looking his first time. Fastball for a strike. Random, just 19 years old. And he's usually a first baseman, but today he starts in the outfield. That one misses. And the count even 1-1. And that's downstairs and outside. Brandon off the first with 2 away. Out towards right center field. He makes the grab, and that is that. Milwaukee leaves 1. Still tied 1-1. Welcome back, and take a look at some hot hitting in this series as we check out the numbers. Going 1.
0-1.
Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. 1 down. Joe Random next up for the Braves. He's 0 for 1. And a first pitch fastball is in for a strike.
Well, he's been incredibly efficient in this one. First pitch strike percentage over 70%. That's well above league average, and that's what's allowed him to pitch well up until this point.
1 down, base is empty. Slow roller to third, and foul ball. That one just misses.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Got him. Now 5 strikeouts for him on the mound.
And he'll be beating himself up on the way back to the dugout. Got a pitch to hit and just couldn't get to it. I think that slider really caught way more of the plate than it was supposed to.
So 2 down now, and here is Joe Random. Oh, he doesn't get the call. 1-0.
1-0.
He swings and fouls one off.
Instead of letting the hitter get his arms extended, tied him up a little bit, slightly up, slightly in.
Check swing. He went too far, and it's a strike.
2 strike.
On the ground out to short. Sneaks through, base hit. And that keeps the inning going. Here's the left fielder, Joe Random. Struck out swinging his first time. And that catches the low inside corner. Good fastball. 2 gone, but the go-ahead run is at first. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. Misses inside. Now 1-2.
That two-seam fastball is usually coupled with a slider away, and when a hitter's conscious of the pitch in, it's hard for him to cover middle away, and that's where a pitcher can really finish off that batter.
And it's fouled off. They'll do it again.
That wasn't an easy pitch to hit. It's much easier to do damage against mistakes, but that's not what that pitch was.
Cut on and missed, and it's a strikeout, and that is the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. We played 4. All tied. Welcome back. Quite a pitcher's duel so far. Here's how the starters have performed up to this point. Rutledge back to work. That one close, ruled a ball. And that's ball 1. The Braves bullpen has some activity. Joe Random getting ready to go. Random, a left-hander, also throwing. And that's downstairs. Now 2-0. Just missed.
Well, I would expect in this 3-0 count, you're taking all the way. See if he'll walk you.
That one finds the zone, and the count is 3-1.
This game has been so tight, feels like the next team to score will win it.
This one popped up right side. Random settles underneath it, and there's one down. Joe Random up now for the Brewers.
25.
1 for 2. Oh, he doesn't get the call. And that is ball 1. Yeah, big swing and a miss.
Man, that's just a nasty splitter. Bottom falls out of it. You don't see a lot of guys throw that these days, but I tell you what, he's got a good one.
Down the line. And that lands in no man's land, a foul ball. And there's a ball.
Well, it's a good pitch there. Really had some run and finished a little up and in just on the edge. And that's one of those, if you swing at it, you hit a broken bat as you jog back to the dugout.
All tied up, and we're at the top of the 5th. Popped up. Random in position. They got it for out number 2. So here's the Brewers DH. Juan Munoz.
Picked up an RBI in his last at bat. Still their only run of the game so far.
Outside, and that's ball 1.
The guy at the plate could recognize slider out of the hand. Didn't stay in the tunnel very long in terms of depth and perception. He knew right away it was an off-speed pitch.
In there for a strike at the top of the zone. Swing and a ground ball. Throw off line. He's safe. And a nice job there to keep it from getting away.
With 2 outs, you just want to find a way to keep the line moving for the next guy. So an infield single right there does the job. Nicely done, just putting it in play and getting down to first to keep this inning alive. You never know what might come next as a result.
Go ahead run on base. Now the Brewers cleanup hitter, Aaron Hicks. That one outside, and it's 1-0. Swinging a foul straight back. Right through there, got him. He picks up his 5th strikeout on the hill. Brewers strand 1. Score remains tied 1-1. Back here in Atlanta, ready to go for the last half of the inning. So now to the plate for Atlanta, Joe Random. Right through there for a strike.
You know, these Braves, as this game goes on, have to be more disciplined at the plate. They've been chasing pitches outside the zone all game, and it's led to some frustrating moments. They've been fooled quite a bit today.
Fires over to first. And that's the first out in the bottom of the fifth. And now, Joe Brandon. And a breaking ball misses outside.
No strike.
He's been going after these guys consistently, and as a result, he's been able to keep his pitch count low, throwing the ball very well right now.
Not even close there. 2-1. Just missed.
He hasn't fallen behind in the count like this all day. He's in danger of walking his first batter right here.
Downstairs, and that's ball 4.
Well, he tried to nibble right there and just missed his spot. Hitter didn't offer at it. Now he has somebody to worry about over at first.
Trying to move him over here. And a foul ball. Strike 2.
Yeah, you can see he just kind of stabbed at that one instead of just keeping his hands soft and absorbing the baseball with the bat.
And that bunt goes foul. It's a strikeout. Now the number 2 hitter, Joe Brandon. Close one, doesn't get the call. 1-0.
Oh, he's got to be pretty proud of this outing so far. Sometimes guys cower coming into a ballpark like this, but he has attacked hitters. Pitching on the road like this is very impressive. This has been a treat to watch.
2 outs. Late on that fastball.
As a hitter, you got to learn something from that pitch. He clearly wasn't timed up on the fastball. In a 2-0 count, you have to be ready to do damage.
There's a swing and a miss. Out towards right center. That's well struck. And that one hops the wall. Rounds third, headed for the plate. Throw is high and over his head.
Well, here we are, third time through the order, and this is where we see the OPS jump up. Manager might have to go to the bullpen a little bit sooner than he anticipated.
So, runner at second, 2 down. Brandon will hit next. Left field, picks. Drop steps, heads back on it. And that ends the inning. The Braves add 1 on the RBI double.
Now pitching.
We're back, and they make a change to start the 6th. Well, 1-run game, and now the catcher comes up to hit. Joe Brandon. And first offering is fouled off. Line drive, base hit right field. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
Nice job of driving that pitch the other way on a line. You know, hitters, they take so many reps in the cages working on going to the opposite field, and it doesn't always translate into the game, but right there it did, and he did it perfectly.
The 0-1. And strike 2. Random gets his lead at first. Nobody out. And down on strikes. Strikeout number 8.
Now, this pitching staff has been merciless against him in this one. I mean, he struck out 6 times in this series, and we've seen no adjustment out of him so far.
Bunts it in the air. Garcia pulls it down, and there's 2 gone. Now the left fielder, Joe Brandon. And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
Struggled a little bit in this one. Couple of strikeouts earlier, but doing a much better job in this at bat to get ahead and find a good hitter's count at 2-0.
Swing and a ball line to center. Makes the grab, and that's the inning. One left for Atlanta.
Now pitching.
Welcome back. We're in the seventh. We have a new pitcher on the mound.
That's ball 4.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Munoz now at the plate. 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a double. And that one upstairs, ball 1.
Well, this is a tough situation with the bases loaded, but the healthiest mindset is just try to get outs, one hitter at a time.
Slashed foul down the right side. That'll hook off into the seats.
You need a strikeout, and you need a ball perhaps on the ground for a double play, or get yourself a pop-up, something, but you've got to make some pitches.
And that one gets away at the plate. But no advance from the runners. Line drive, caught.
That swing right there tells me he's seeing the ball pretty well. I know it didn't produce a hit, but he made.
And welcome back to the ballpark. Bottom of the 7th. Now, Joe Brandon. That's a strike, and it's 0-1. Foul ball. Oh, 2 now. Swing and a miss as he was late. Up with it, fires to first. Gets him. One away on a drop third strike.
Just overmatched on that fastball right there. And it wasn't like he was set up for it by something off speed earlier in the at-bat. Just came right after him with 3 straight, and he had no answer for it.
And here comes the Brewers manager to the mound. Pitching change coming. Nelson Garcia departs, and a nice effort out of him, no doubt. New arm coming on. We'll be back for that in a moment.
Now pitching for
Joe
Milwaukee.
Brandon on to
Ball 4. Take your base. 3.
that clips the corner.
No need to offer that pitch until you get to 2 strikes. It's just a low percentage of success when you want to try to go after that down and away pitch.
On the ground, and that one finds its way through. And a good start to the inning. So up next, Joe Brandon, 1 for 3. Squares, pushes at it, misses it. It's a strike. It's 0-1. Drops a bunt down the first base side. No throw, and everyone is safe. So digging in, Joe Brandon. There's the strike.
Well, they're willing to give up an out here. This is a big spot, so you have to make it count.
Bunting, but that's a foul ball. Trying to move the runners over. Brandon. Runners advance on a good sack bunt.
We don't see this very often anymore. Runner on first and second, sack bunt down to move him up, but he does a nice job, executes perfectly. See if they can get a couple of runs across.
Random now at the plate as he swings through strike one.
In the on-deck circle, you really want to use that opportunity to see some pitches and time up the fastball. Last thing you want to do is miss a good hittable fastball early in the count.
Base hit, 1 run in already. Now 2 runs score, and they take a 3-run lead.
Big at bat to pad their lead up to 3. Ripped that one down the line and kept it fair. And even when you hit it that far out front, you still have to keep your hands tight to your body.
Slings to second, and they'll just get the 1. Joe Brandon next up for the Braves. See the velocity, 97 with that fastball. Headed towards the corner, and that is a foul ball. Foul ball, still 0-2. Random, the runner at first with 2 gone. And a pop-up, right side, foul territory. And makes the grab. And that is that.
Now pitching
back
for the
now,
Braves.
and on the
Ball 4, take your base.
1 gone, runner at first. Now it's the DH, Juan Munoz. In the air, left field, down the line, and it stays fair. Throw into third, and the throw's offline, safe at third.
Well, that started and ended pretty quickly. No messing around right there. Hooked around that pitch on the outside, but he was still able to square it up pretty nicely, and that takes quick, strong wrist to pull that off. Now a huge at bat in this game coming up.
Now here's Aaron Hicks. Just missed. With the tying run at the plate, here at the top of the 9th. Next offering is in for a strike. And fouled off. The tying run at the plate. Just misses there.
This is a situation where the hitter is looking for something up in the zone that he can get his arms extended. What you have to be careful of is that pitch that's up, that's in on your hands. That'll pop you up in the infield, and that's exactly what the pitcher wants.
Random up next for the Brewers. Out to short. Lays out, but he can't squeeze it. In to score from third. It's an RBI single, and they cut the lead to 2. Here comes the manager. So they turn things over to one of their young arms, Joe Brandon.
And I can't imagine any save is an easy one. You're holding a small lead on the scoreboard, and you know those hitters are going to give you the best at bats they can. So it's always high stress. Let's see what he's got here to try and close it out.
Lefty out of the stretch, runners at first and third. Swing and a miss.
Big pitch right here. He's going to try to make a pitch that's going to produce a strikeout or a ground ball double play.
And just misses with that one.
See if you can go upstairs a little bit. Make sure you miss up and out of the zone since you're heading to count 1-2. Don't miss in the zone because that's where you can get hurt.
Got him looking for the strikeout. And they're down to their last out.
Well, you got to be ready to swing the bat with a runner in scoring position and 2 strikes. Just put the ball in play somewhere, and you got a chance. Very frustrating for him, I'm sure. See if the next guy can pick him up.
Random in the box now as he leaves that one up high. Movement in the Atlanta bullpen. Joe Random, the left-hander, up and throwing. In there at the knees.
Getting a little frustrated with the strike zone.
And a count 1-2. The Brewers down to their final strike. This one in the air right field.
Back against the wall with 2 strikes, but found a way. I don't know how he's able to shoot that pitch the other way and still put something on it. That pitch was inside, and he let it get really deep. So pretty incredible hands to fight it off and still get good wood on it. Now that sets up a huge at-bat in this ball game.
Crowd locked in right now. 1-run game here in the 9th. Fought off foul.
Well, if he's going to do something special right here, it's going to have to happen with 2 strikes.
Got him, and that's the ball game. Rutledge with his first major league win.
Yeah, nicely done. I'm sure he'll feel very good about that and get the ball for his trophy case, as he should. A start he won't ever forget.
4-3 our final. All right, ready to go here. So now here's the
Ball 4, take your base.
So 2 down, and now the rookie second baseman, Greg Ridley. Just missed.
Counts 1-0.
Next offering is in for a strike. That one fouled off. 2 outs, base is empty. Swing and a ball popped in the air. Dives and he can't hang on. Throw back in, holds him at first, so just a single.
Batting fourth.
So man at first. Joe Brandom up now for the Mets. 2 for 7 in the series so far. Off the catcher and rolls away. And now a man into scoring position. And the 1-0. Ground ball, and that's through the infield. Ridley coming home. He'll score easily, and it's an RBI single, and it's 1-0.
Picks himself up at RBI. Just what.
3. And now for the Phillies, Joe Brandom. Fastball for a strike. Random measures 6 feet 2 inches. Hitting leadoff in today's game. He joined the team as a free agent. The 0-2. Got him swinging. And that's the first strikeout of his major league career.
And it could be the first of many if he meets the goals he set for himself and the expectations others have for him. He doesn't want to just win games. He wants to dominate at this level.
Do you think young pitchers could sometimes get too caught up in trying to rack up Ks early in their career?
Boog, I think they can. It's kind of like a hitter that doesn't have power. The thrill is still hitting a ball over the fence. And so for a guy, even if he doesn't have power stuff or strikeout stuff, a strikeout is still something that makes him stick his chest out a little bit further.
Swing and a miss as he was late that time.
Throughout history, the fastball down has been the most successful pitch. Guys can handle a little bit better these days, but they, of course, still prefer something belt high.
Base hit. So a man aboard now with one away.
Batting third,
Jermaine Stokes stands in for the Phillies. 3 hits last night, so he was a big factor in getting that win. And that one fouled off. Late on that fastball.
Ooh,
No ball,
Baya.
2 strikes.
You got to remember to take the donut off the bat, partner.
One down. Phillies down a run. Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout.
Oh, that's a curveball that people like to describe as a hammer or Uncle Charlie, and you can see why. It's not a looping slow curve. He throws it hard, and it gets plenty of bite on the end.
So here's the cleanup hitter, Bobby Magruder. 3 for 8 in the series coming in. And first offering is fouled off. Random leads off first with 2 down to the inning. And that misses. Ball 1. That's down and in. And that one fouled off.
I wouldn't throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
Two outs. That one in the dirt and gets away. And the runner stays where he is. The pitch. Fouled off again. And it remains 3-2. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. Now he launches a throw over his head. The throw comes in too late and a run scores. So up next, Joe Brandon. And there's a foul ball. Man at second. Fouled off left side. And that one upstairs.
See if you can go upstairs a little bit. Make sure you miss up and out of the zone since you're heading to count 1-2. Don't miss in the zone because that's where you get hurt.
And that one goes straight to the backstop. And on the wild pitch, he goes down to third.
Have to be really sure you can make it safely to third when you're in scoring position and 2 outs. Got to get that run across. Very important. Does a nice job of reading it. Gets to third base.
Ring him up, says Darryl Parker. That's a strikeout. So they get 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. the catcher, Joe Brandom. 3 for 7 in the series so far. That breaking ball drops in for a strike.
0-1.
Fastball for a strike.
Well, we call that keyholing. Even though it's right there and looks pretty good, if he doesn't love it, he's not going to swing that early in the count.
Next offering upstairs.
That's a really good job of laying off the 0-2 high fastball. Is going to make that pitcher really have to respect this hitter, even though he's behind in the count.
He goes down looking.
Frustrating end to the at-bat for the hitter, and I'm sure that's going to sit on him for a little while. You want to be ready to hit the fastball. Sometimes you can overthink things, and I think that was the case right there.
And now it's going to be Joe Brandom. Foul ball there. One down, base is empty. A little out front there as he swings through it.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row.
Well, he went up there trying to be aggressive, that's for sure, hacking at those first 2 pitches, but clearly that last one fooled him. He could have been sitting on something else entirely, but you want to be able to adjust on 0-2 and at least get a swing off when it's in the zone. Maybe choke up, maybe spread out your stance a little bit. You got to give the guy credit on the mound, though. He went right after him.
Joe Brandom, the next to hit, takes ball 1. In the air, right side, Brandom nabs it, and that is that. Back here at the ballpark, let's check out the latest news from around the league.
Number 38.
Brandom back to work. There's a strike.
Well, these Mets doing a great job, Boog, of just waiting for the right pitch to come their way, and I'm seeing very patient at-bats out of him. He's only given up 1 run, but the starter's pitch count is starting to get up there, and that might be the best news yet for this offense. That's back-to-back singles for him. I could watch base hits like that one all day long, and so could every hitting coach in the league. Just a nice line drive into center field. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
Next to hit, Joe Brandom gets the bunt down the right side. And he pops up the bunt. To second, that's 1. And that's all they'll get.
Well, the catcher's so quick on that. Love the athleticism to get out there, cut off.
And a curve drops in for a strike.
Backdoored him with a breaking ball, just got the corner. There's nothing you can really do with that.
And a swing and a miss.
0-2.
On the outside corner, got him looking.
Wow, that's a tough call for the hitter, but the pitcher will take that all day long.
Number 30.
Not quite in the strike zone, but he found a spot that the umpire is going to, at least for now, allow him to get that call. So hitters are going to have to make an adjustment, but pitchers are going to learn from those things and really try to exploit them if they can.
Random, the next to hit, takes outside. This one popped up. Foul ground, first base side. That's out number 2. Joe Brandom getting ready to hit. Singled and scored his first time. Yeah, that's fouled off. 2 down, nobody on. Gets the call. 0-2.
Ball down.
Gets a piece and stays alive. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. Random pulls it down, and the inning is over. Back here in Philadelphia.
4-4. Take your base. 3.
Man at first. Here's the second baseman, Greg Ridley. He's 2 for 2. Out to short, Magruder. They get the force. That's the third out. Back here, Citizens Bank Park. John Chambie and Chris Singleton with you. And leading off the bottom of the fourth, Jermaine Stokes. That's in there. That's strike one.
Well, these Phillies, to put it bluntly, need to put together more competitive at-bats, and I don't think they've lived up to their own expectations at the plate. They've gone down on strikes at a high rate today, so it's probably time to simplify the approach and just find ways to put the ball in play.
Going to count 1 and 2.
I don't think he was trying to miss by that much in an 0-2 count. Just tried to overthrow that pitch.
Now one missed.
2 strikes.
And now the count filled up 3 and 2. And down on strikes he goes. Picks up strikeout number 7.
No, just a beautiful fastball on the inside corner for that backwards K right there. I think the hitter saw it all the way coming from that opposite arm angle, so I got to think he was looking away and just got locked up by the hard stuff boring in on his hands.
Magruder takes a ball as he stands in for the second time. Swing and a high fly ball pulled foul, and that's out of play. 1 out, base is empty. That's inside.
Looks like he's being a little cautious with him in this at bat after doubling the first time up. Doesn't want to make another mistake.
Swing and a liner foul off to the right. 2-2 on the way. Liner, base hit. And they have their first hit since the first inning.
Couple of hits in a row for him here. Anytime you rip a line drive the other way, you feel really good about what you did at the plate. You trusted your hands, you let the ball travel, and you took the barrel straight to it. That's great work right there.
And a sac bunt here. They put the tag on him, and he gets the job done. Joe Random stands in for the Phillies. Caught looking his first time up. And right back to the mound. In plenty of time to first. That's out number 3. We're back, and there's a new arm on the mound.
3-3.
Now here is Joe Random.
Went down looking on 3 pitches last time. Let's see if he can be a little more aggressive right here.
Ball one there. This to center field, and that will fall. Off to a good start with a leadoff knock. So digging in, Joe Random flied to right his first time. Puts a bunt down. There's one. Out. Throw to first, but he beat it. Now it's the right fielder, Joe Random. His first at bat was a strikeout. Trying to move him over here. There's one.
That's an out.
And that's all they'll get. Joe Brandon stands in for the Phillies. 0 for 2 in this one. Fastball for a strike. Up the middle. And that is
He's
that.
out.
So one hit is all they get. 5 innings.
Now pitching
We're
for the
back,
Phillies.
and they make a change to start the
Number
6th.
33.
The new pitcher, Ken Suzuki. This is his 3rd time out this year. Brando in the box again, takes a strike. Swing and a grounder, foul first base side. Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout. Joe Brandon up now for the Mets. A strikeout and a walk. First offering, and it just misses. Action in the pen down there. Joe Brandon up and loosening in the pen. And that is out of play.
Love coming to Citizens Bank Park. Best ice cream in all of the league at the press level. It's only been around since 2004, but plenty of awesome history here already. It's the only stadium with multiple postseason no-hitters. Remember, Roy Halladay did it back in 2010, and the Houston Astros threw a combined no-no in Game 4 of the 2022 World Series.
Base hit. So the one-out hit turns the lineup over.
Now batting, number
Joe
33.
Brandon up now for the Mets. Couple of walks and a strikeout. Bunts it towards the mound. Over to first, and that's an out on the sacrifice.
Really nice technique right there to get that sac bunt down. Advances that runner up another base.
Now
That was his job. He got it done.
So up next for New York, Joe Brandon.
And there's one thing on his mind this at bat, getting that first hit at the big league level.
Runner at second, 2 down, and we're in the top half of the 6th.
Well, they've kept him pretty quiet in this series. Still doesn't have a knock. I know you want to get that first knock out of the way. Maybe more will come, but you got to give some credit to the pitching staff. They've had a
well, got to pause on that thought, as that'll do it for the inning. And we're back. Well, we go bottom 6. Now it's the second baseman, Joe Brandon. Pena back to work. Fastball for a strike. 0-1.
Getting a little frustrated with the strike zone.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. That's his 8th strikeout of the game.
Just blown away in that at bat. 3 fastballs, all strikes.
Number 10.
He wasn't even able to foul one off. There's not much you can take away from an at bat like that as a hitter, other than maybe there's something wrong with your eyes. Got to have better timing on the fastball next time.
Stokes up to hit for the 3rd time as he lays off inside, ball 1. And another ball.
Struggled a little bit in this one. Couple of strikeouts earlier, but doing a much better job in this at bat to get ahead and find a good hitter's count at 2-0.
That clips a corner. Home team down a run here in the bottom of the 6th. Up the middle, dives, but it kicks off his glove. No throw, and they don't get an out on the play. Bobby Magruder, the next to hit. First offering, runner goes. Pitch inside. No throw, safe at second. And the tying run is now in scoring position. Swings through that one.
Man, he was really tardy on that fastball. Great job of setting him up by throwing the curveball. Add some velocity to it on the next pitch. Can't catch up.
And a count 1-2. That's his 9th strikeout so far.
He had him out in front, which isn't easy to do against a hitter like this, known for using the entire field. Just couldn't sit back long enough on that one.
Joe Brandon stands in for the Phillies. He's 0 for 1. Popped up. Ridley sizes this one up, and that will end the inning. Phillies strand 1. Welcome back. We're in the 7th. We have a new pitcher on the mound, Joe Brandon.
And he comes on here for the first time this season, and I'm sure there's some nerves involved in that, so we'll see how he settles in.
Ridley stands in here, leaves that one off the inside. That's in there, and the count is 1-1.
Well, that's really the money spot, down and away. If you can locate that consistently, it's going to be real tough for hitters to square that up. That's what you love to see relievers do coming out of that bullpen.
That one the other way. Nice grab.
Great hops right there, Boog. He timed it just right to bring that liner down.
Just missed.
You know, these Phils need to bring up the quality of their at-bats and specifically their swings. Just one extra base hit for them, so they haven't exactly been hitting the ball gap to gap or out of the park. That makes it really difficult to generate runs. Just a simple ground ball the other way, and they've had eyes on it, man. Sometimes that's all you need to do. Just let the ball travel, put the ball in play, and just hope it finds a hole.
And here comes the Mets manager to the mound. Pitching change coming. Gilberto Pena will depart.
Well, Boog, as he leaves, he's got a shot at his first MLB win. He's going to need the rest of that staff to step up and preserve this narrow lead, though.
So they turn things over to the righty, Joe Brandon.
These are the spots relievers really make a name for themselves. Late and close. There's not much margin for error, but at the same time, there's a reason they're put in these situations.
And here is Joe Brandon. Tying run at the plate. Squares to bunt, but that rolls foul.
Fastball high and tight right there. A scary combo. I tell you what, everyone in the stadium looked like they felt like they needed to jump out of the way. I know I moved.
So up next, Joe Brandon. And he lays one down the left side. Got him on the off-balance throw. And one away in the bottom of the 7th.
If you want to be a great defense, you have to deliver consistently. It doesn't matter how many highlight reel plays you make if you can't execute the small stuff, just like we saw.
Up the middle. Base hit. 1 run is in. The 2nd run scores. And this game is tied in the 7th.
Gets the job done as he brings.
Ball 4, take the base. 3.
Back here in Philadelphia, ready for the bottom of the 8th. Here's the left fielder, Jermaine Stokes. And ball 1.
No strike.
And fouled off. And a count 1-2. Slides, but it gets by him.
Good 2-strike hitting right there, Boog. A bit of a lost start for some, so that was nicely done to beat the odds. Got the top of the ball a little bit, but not much. That was hit pretty hard through the infield, so I think he'll be happy with that swing. Definitely generated some good bat speed.
Magruder in the box, lays off for ball 1.
If you're a base runner, you've got to stay dialed in here. Look for anything in the dirt. Try your best to get into scoring position.
And that one fouled off. Line drive, base hit. Rowe holds him at second, but the go-ahead run now in scoring position, and still nobody out.
Now, just a nice job coming through in a pretty high leverage spot right there. And man, I'll tell you, a line drive like that into the gap just feels so good. It's feedback that you had everything on time and in control.
Taking over on the mound for the Mets, Joe Brandon. So digging in now for Philadelphia, Joe Brandon. Trying to move the runners over. Throws to first in time. The runners move up on the sacrifice.
That's a good piece of hitting right there. The job was to move the runner up and give your team a chance to score the go-ahead run. That's exactly what happened, so you better believe your teammates are happy with you after that at-bat.
Random at the plate and takes high there.
Definitely a strikeout situation right here. Lots of ways for that go-ahead run to score if the ball's put in play.
Line drive. Drops into the glove. Both runners tagging. He scores. That's a big sacrifice fly. They lead it in the 8th.
Good piece of hitting right there. He's thinking off the bat, that's getting down for extra bases, but nice job of the outfielder running it down, making the catch. Still comes away with the sac fly, though. RBI.
Random stands in with 2 away as he takes a ball. Swing and a ground ball, and that one gets through into center field. The run scores from third. It's an RBI single, and they lead by 2. 2. We're back, and on the mound is the closer, Darryl Leonard. He's making his second appearance of the season. Here's the second baseman, Greg Ridley. And there's the strike. Leonard fills up the zone, forces contact, so not a huge strikeout guy, but he's going to make the hitters beat him. Doesn't issue a lot of walks, so the pressure is really on the batter to make something happen. Next pitch is outside.
And although you like the fact that the guy throws strikes, guy gets contact, and not always great contact, the fact that when you have runners on, if that ball's in play, there's still a good chance that a run gets pushed across, whether it's earned or not. Well, the first batter, it's always a big one for the closer. I mean, you get that punch out, you get settled in, you feel like you're in command out there on the mound from the jump, and kind of prevents any doubt from creeping into your mind or the fielders that are playing behind you that, you know, you're going to wrap this thing up.
And that one clips the corner. Command in the zone is such a crucial part of it, right?
You know, it's not just throwing strikes, but it's throwing quality strikes. And it's having quality misses as well. What's a quality miss? Missing just off the plate rather than over the plate.
One down, base is empty. Goes down swinging for the strikeout. Now only 1 out remaining.
This is definitely what a team likes to see out of their closer. Come in and just destroy all hope. First 2 batters, 2 strikeouts. See if he can strike out the side.
Random in the box here lets that one go for a ball. 2 down, nobody on. Here at the top of the 9th. And that's in for a strike. And the count 1-1. And it's fouled away. This could end it. Check swing, and that's a ball. Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming.
That wasn't an easy pitch to hit. It's much easier to do damage against mistakes, but that's not what that pitch was.
Still 2-2 after the foul ball. 2 outs. And they'll do it again. Next pitch inside. 3-2 now. And a swing and a miss, and that is the ball game.
Well, this was a total team effort, using 6 pitchers in this ball game to get the win. Outstanding job of passing the baton. The next pitcher stepping up and getting it done. You got to give him
So almost ready to get underway, and towing the slab in this one, Joe Huffman. And singing a special day for him. He's making his major league debut here.
And I'm sure he's got some nerves. He'll be excited for that first pitch to be in and over with so that he can settle into pitching just like he did in the minor leagues. Exciting moment. He's got his family in town. I think this moment's going to be a huge tone setter for his career.
Swings through that one. It's a strikeout. And that's the first strikeout of his major league career.
And it could be the first of many if he meets the goals he set for himself and the expectations others have for him. He doesn't want to just win games. He wants to dominate at this level.
Do you think young pitchers can sometimes get too caught up in trying to rack up Ks early in their career?
Boog, I think they can. It's kind of like a hitter that doesn't have power. The thrill is still hitting a ball over the fence. And so for a guy, even if he doesn't have power stuff or strikeout stuff, a strikeout is still something that makes him stick his chest out a little bit further.
Runner on at first with one gone. And now the rookie second baseman, Jason Gillis. Here's the pitch. Runner on the go. Swing and a high fly ball out there towards left field. Random makes the grab, and there's 2 gone. Let's take a look at the Padres lineup. This group was shut out their last game, so we're going to see if they can bounce back with a better effort here today.
And Boog, it can get in your head a little bit when you get shut out. You're frustrated. You're seeing that consecutive streak of innings you haven't scored, and you want to get off to a great start, score early, because if you don't, you feel like you could linger into 2 consecutive games, which no one wants to be a part of.
Just missed.
That two-seam fastball is usually coupled with a slider away, and when a hitter's conscious of the pitch in, it's hard for him to cover middle away, and that's where a pitcher can really finish off that batter.
One and 2 now. Try to get him to chase on the changeup that time. And a swing and a miss, and that's that. One left for San Diego. Now the Cubbies will get there. Back here at the friendly confines. And today's starting pitcher, Esteban Campos. What do you have on him, Singy?
It's a tough veteran lineup on the other side, but I'm excited to see what this rookie can do in this one.
Joe Brandon leading things off and takes a strike. Just missed.
1-1.
Now this is in the air down the line. And no one can get to it. It's a foul ball. Next pitch is downstairs.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Good eye in that spot.
He's really tightening up his hitting zone with 2 strikes here. I love it.
That one misses. So a leadoff walk.
No, very close with the location right there. It's just tough to get rewarded on the call with pitches near the top of the strike zone.
So up now for Chicago, Joe Brandon. 4 for 8 in the series so far. Bunting, and he pops it up. Campos makes the grab, and there's one down. Now the third baseman, Joe Brandon.
Third baseman, Joe Brandon.
Drops a bunt down the first base side. Oh, a great flip. Nicely done for the out.
Well, just doing his part right there, trying to move that runner in a scoring position. Got it down successfully. Now we'll see if they can drive him in from second.
Brandon.
So the go-ahead run in scoring position. Brandon will hit next. Clips the corner. 0-1.
Man, I mean, nice job just presenting it to be better than it actually was.
And that's off the inside edge. And it's 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
1-2.
Spoils the 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another.
I wouldn't throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
And that one is inside. That missed by a lot. And now it's filled up 3-2. Brandon in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance to make a big impact here. Foul. We'll see another payoff pitch. And ball 4, 2 aboard.
So close to getting out of it right there, but this inning still has life.
Joe Brandon, the next Cub to hit. 3 for 9 of the series coming in. And there's a ball.
That missed. That's a ball.
Hit in the air, left field. And that is the inning. Back here at Wrigley Field, second inning set to go. And here is Joe Brandon. That one's in there. Strike 1. And that one is lifted in the air. Hauls it in for the out. 1 up, 1 down. And here's the rookie catcher, Joe Brandon. That one finds the zone. That's strike 1. And a foul ball. The other way, and foul ball. And he deals. Got him looking. That's a strikeout.
Batting 7.
2 outs, base is empty. Joe Brandon, the next up for the Padres. That one drilled left field, and a base hit right there. And that keeps the inning alive. Joe Random with his first major league hit. And this is a moment I'm sure he'll never forget. Congrats.
Yeah, great moment for him and his family. A guy works so hard and has to wait so long for this to happen. And when it does, it can kind of be overwhelming, Boog. You still have to stay locked in on the game, but it's great when you could take a minute to just appreciate what you've done and how hard you've worked to get here.
Ground ball to the right side, and he can't come up with it. But they get the out at first, and that'll do it for the inning. Bottom half of inning number 2. And the batter now, Joe Random. Campos back to work. And that's off the outside edge. And that is ball 1. A swing and a miss, and that's strike 1.
I think he was sitting off speed there.
That's down and in.
Definitely a swing and miss slider down and in. He finished that really well. Just couldn't get him to offer at it.
Into center. No trouble here. Puts it away for the out. And there's one down. Now the left fielder, Joe Random. That misses.
That's the
and
ball.
that's ball 1. This to third. Lays out, but he can't squeeze it. The throw is late, and they come away without an out.
See, Boog, that right there, that's a perfect example of why he shouldn't be out there in that position. He clearly isn't comfortable. He doesn't look fluid. His footwork's all over the place, and just can't make that throw to beat the runner.
Random. There's one. And that's all they'll get. Joe Random, the next Cub to hit. Here's a swing and a drive left field, and he knew it. That should put a jolt into this home crowd. His first homer of the year. It's 2-0. He only needed one swing to square it up.
Not wasting any time in that at bat, Boog. Aggressive, and it paid off.
When you're working with this kind of velocity, so critical that you move the ball around, work quickly, and make sure that you keep that hitter off balance. Clearly not fooled by the location or the velocity. He was all over that fastball.
They say you win.
No ball.
Bases empty, 2 away, but 2 runs are in at bottom half of inning number 2. Lifted in the air down the left side. That is the inning. Cubs had 2 on this homer. It's now a 2-0 ball game. Back here at the ballpark, let's check out the latest news from around the league.
Joe Random.
Pitch misses inside. Ball 1.
Well, that two-seam fastball is a great pitch from a right-hander to a right-handed batter. Just really teases the inside part of the plate, runs in on the hands.
Line drive, base hit. So now back to the top of the order.
Pretty much a model swing on that one as he ripped it into the opposite field gap, and I'm sure he's going to be watching that one back on video because that's the kind of swing you want to bottle. So many positives that led to that knock.
And a sac bunt here. Random throws to first and one away in the top of the third.
There was a time where that sac bunt was just ho-hum, very basic, but is increasingly difficult as it's become to get bunts down in the big leagues. Nice job right there.
Random, batting with one down, takes a strike. In the dirt, but kept close. We haven't seen a break in the weather, and the umpires might be forced to make a decision soon.
Yeah, I think so, Boog. I mean, everyone looking and wondering when they're going to stop play. It definitely feels close.
Swing and a high fly ball out towards right field. And there's 2 down.
The batter.
Next for the
baseman,
Padres, Jason Gillis. Fly to left his first time. He swings and hits a fly ball center field. And that'll fall for a base hit. The throw into second. And he's out. But one run does score on the play before the inning ends. So it's one run on 2 base hits. No errors, no one left. And welcome back to the ballpark. Now the number 2 hitter, Joe Brandon. Inside. 1-0.
1-0.
There's the strike at the knees.
Two one.
Next offering misses. 3-1. There's the strike.
And boy, that was the pitch. 3-1. You want to be really aggressive on the fastball.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
This guy will throw any pitch in any count. 3-2. He goes off speed, gets the out.
Joe Brandon, the next Cub to hit. First pitch just misses.
And that's a pitch early in this game. He needs called for a strike. Struggling with command issues. He's got to get a little help from the umpire.
On the ground to the left. Zips it to first. And 2 straight set down to begin the bottom of the 3rd. Joe Brandon, the next Cub to hit. That's in there. Strike 1.
0-1.
2 outs, base is empty. Now 1-1. Next offering is fouled back.
Clearly trying to stay back a little bit longer for that changeup as he fouls that fastball back.
Goes down looking. Nothing happening there for the Cubs. They lead it 2-1. New inning getting started. Here's the cleanup hitter for the Padres, Joe Brandon. There's the strike.
You know, these Padres just lacking discipline at the plate in this ballgame. They're chasing a lot of pitches outside the zone, and those chases are turning into a bunch of outs. Can they turn?
Now this one's stroked to right center, and that should be extra bases. Around first and hustling for second, and now the tying run is into scoring position.
Anytime you can drive a ball into the gap the other way, it feels so good. And that's when you know you're right where you need to be at the plate. And it's even better when it gets you extra bases. Love looking in at your dugout and seeing the guys fired up.
And that bunted towards third. Tosses to first. That's the first out in the top of the 4th. And here's the catcher, Joe Brandon. Pitch misses there, and it's 1-0.
This is a situation where the hitter is looking for something up in the zone that he can get his arms extended. What you have to be careful of is that pitch.
Oh, now this one gets away at the plate. No advance, though. Runner on at third, 1 gone.
Well, this is a good time to step out of the box, take a deep breath, reset. A couple of change-ups. Probably won't see another one here.
And that one in the air center field. He's got it. Runner tags from third. He'll score on the sac fly. It's 2-2. So 2 down now, and here is Joe Brandon. That one missed.
He didn't want to give up that run, but he did. Got the fly ball, sac fly out. Now it's time to attack these other guys. Get your team back in the dugout.
2 down, bases empty, but 1 run across. Top half of inning number 4. Swings and blasts one deep to left center. Back there. And it's into the bleachers. Out of here. Joe Random with his first major league home run. A special moment in his young career. And who knows, maybe that'll open the floodgates for him.
Yeah, getting that out of the way could be a big confidence booster. It feels like a huge weight just been taken off your back. You can go up there with a lot less pressure on you now, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets hot for a little while.
What do you remember about your first career homer, Chris?
Well, I remember it was off of Omar Olivares, and, you know, being there in Los Angeles against the Angels, just a tremendous day, great ballpark, and a special moment for sure.
Swing and a miss.
Man, he really sells the changeup with that arm action.
And now 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
2-2's the count.
And a base hit into right center field. So he gets on base and keeps it going. Now the right fielder, Joe Brando. 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored so far. On the ground to third, and it goes just foul. Random, just 19 years old. Usually a first baseman. Today he starts in right. Random off of first with 2 away.
Yeah, I always thought that was an interesting transition because you're pretty much on the same spot on the field looking in at home plate, but you're a little further back this time, so I'm sure when you're playing right field after moving from first base, it's a little bit of a delay of game by the time the ball gets to you.
That's off the inside corner, and it's 1-2. Swings and misses, struck him out. But 2 runs for him, and they jump ahead. And midway in the 4th, it's the Padres back at the ballpark. And in this series, it has been ugly on the mound as we look at the numbers. First pitch, and it just misses.
Well, after putting up a nice inning on offense, got some runs across, this is where you look for the starter to go out there, have a shutdown inning. Don't give that other team any hope. You just hope that he can get through this inning, get the bats back up there while they're hot.
In the air, right field, and it drops in. So a man on base to start the inning.
Really nice job staying inside with his hands to fight off that pitch. Man, that cutter was bearing in on him, but he found a way to stay with his approach, didn't spin off it, and he hit it pretty well.
Joe Random now at the plate. Fly to center his first time. He's 0 for 1. Bunting, but that's a foul ball. And strike 2.
Just couldn't get that one down, and it's really just about catching the ball with the bat.
Lays down a bunt to the right side. Random. Save!
Too late. He's in there.
Sometimes you can get a little too aggressive trying to cut off that lead run and try to make something happen that really isn't there. Got to take that sure out at first base. Not sure what happened right there in terms of communication.
First and second, no outs. Random digs in now. Reached on an infield single his first time. Squares to bunt, but that rolls foul. Puts a bunt down. Random. And that is a big first out. And next for the Cubs, Joe Random. Golden opportunity right here. First pitch doesn't find the zone.
He's got a base open, so the pressure to come in and really attack this hitter, not as great as it would be if the bags were sacked.
Swing and a miss. There's that changeup. Second and third here. One away. Next offering in there for a strike. And that's strike two.
I think ultimately you want to tie him up, get the ball in on the plate so that he can't get the barrel to it and hit it to the outfield.
Got him looking as the fastball runs back over the inside corner.
Well, they were pretty much giving it to him right there. Playing the infield back. All you're looking for on offense is a simple ground ball. You got a tied ball game. Not sure what he was thinking up there. Strikeout looking is the last thing you want to see. Now you got to hope the next guy can pick you up and come through with a big two-out hit.
Random in the box now. Take strike one. 2 outs, 2 in scoring position. We're here in the bottom of the fourth. And that's in there for a strike, and quickly nothing at 2.
Perhaps not quite ready to hit. First 2 pitches by him for a couple of strikes. Now back is against the wall. He's going to have to figure something out and figure it out quickly.
Random. Third out, and that ends the frame. Cubs strand a couple. Welcome back. Quite a pitcher's duel so far. Here's how the starters have performed up to this point.
Random.
Huffman back to work. On the corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. It feels like we might be headed towards a rain delay if the weather doesn't ease up, Chris.
Yeah, the umpiring crew are going to pay attention to how the weather is impacting this game, and the moment it becomes dangerous, I think, is the moment we'll be forced to take a break.
On the ground right side. And a quick out, number 1.
Now batting, third baseman, Joe Random.
Stepping in for San Diego, Joe Random, 1 for 2. And that one off the outside edge.
1-0.
Next offering is in for a strike. Swings through that. 1 out, base is empty. That's to third. Random fires across the diamond, and the first 2 set down to the top of the 5th.
Second baseman,
Now it's the second baseman,
Gillis.
Jason Gillis. And first offering is fouled off.
Very dominant with that fastball inside. Hitter's going to be conscious of that. Now you have the outer half of the plate to work with out there on the mound.
This to center field. And that'll get down for a hit. Safely into second. He's got a double.
You got to get on your horse and get to that ball and get it back in, because he's going to come barreling around first and put some pressure on you. If you bobble it or you don't get there in a hurry, it's going to make you look silly and end up on second base.
Now a chance for Joe Random. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. Fastball for a strike. Movement in the Cubs bullpen. Joe Random, the young right-hander, up and throwing. Random also getting ready. The 1-1 is fouled off. Runner at second, 2 down, and we're at the top of the 5th. Oh, right to the backstop. So a wild pitch allows the runner to advance.
He just hasn't had it in this one. Been fighting himself out there, and that's just another example of it. We'll see if he can find it at all while he's still out there.
That's outside, and that's ball 3.
Well, the good thing so far is that he hasn't issued any free passes. Unfortunately, they're making pretty good contact, so not getting the swings and misses and making that defense work behind him.
To the right side, and that one handled. Gets it to first. Out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 5th, and here's the DH for the Cubs, Joe Random. That one's upstairs, ball 1.
That's high. That's a ball.
That one misses. 3 balls, no strikes. Random in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance to make a big impact here. And there's the automatic.
3-1.
That one misses. So a leadoff walk.
Maybe a little loss of focus on the mound right there. Pretty much gifted at first base with a quick free pass.
No outs. Runner at first. Joe Random, the next Cub to hit. 0 for 2 in this one. Bunted back towards the mound. Campos over to second, and he'll eat it and be happy with the out.
Third baseman, number 1, Joe Random.
Joe Random, the next Cub to hit. He's 0 for 1. Bunting, but that's a foul ball. Trying to move him over here. Random. He is safe.
Sometimes you can get a little too aggressive trying to cut off that lead run and try to make something happen that really isn't there. Got to take that sure out at first base. Not sure what happened right there in terms of communication.
First and second, 1 out. Random, the next to hit. He is struck out, and he is walked. Trying to move the runners over. In plenty of time to first, out on the sac bunt.
Up next for the Cubs, the first baseman, Joe Random.
So digging in, Joe Random. Right through there for a strike. Activity in the bullpen for San Diego. Joe Random, the young lefty, looks to be getting himself ready. Random also throwing. Random on third. Random at second with 2 gone. Swings and misses. And it's 0-2.
He finds himself in a tough situation early. Just got to try to simplify it. Take a knock the other way if you can.
And a swing and a miss. Huge strikeout there.
A lot of adrenaline. We can see it right there. And sometimes you just got to let it out. That's an outstanding job of taking that, executing, and getting out of a tough inning.
Now pitching for
We're
the
back,
Chicago
and they make a
Cubs,
change to start the 6th.
Number 6.
The new pitcher, Joe Random.
Joe
This is his first
Random.
appearance of the season. So here's the Padres DH, Joe Random.
Joe
And there's one thing on his mind this at bat, getting that first hit at the big league level.
And the first offering a fastball for a strike. Line drive, and that should be extra bases. Now he'll turn for second. Joe Brandon with his
Up next
first
for the
major league
Padres,
hit.
the
And this is a
catcher,
moment
Joe
I'm sure he'll never
Brandon.
forget. Congrats.
Yeah, great moment for him and his family. A guy works so hard and has to wait so long for this to happen. And when it does, it can kind of be overwhelming, Boog. You still have to stay locked in on the game, but it's great when you could take a minute to just appreciate what you've done and how hard you've worked to get here.
And now the catcher comes up to him, Joe Brandon. Bunts it in the air. And there's one away.
Now batting, left fielder, Joe Brandon.
So digging in now for San Diego, Joe Brandon. He's already homered in this game. And that's a little bit high. And that is ball one. In the dirt, blocked. One out and a runner at second, and we're in the top half of the sixth. Swing and a miss. And a count 2-1.
2-1.
Just misses with that one.
And that's awfully close. I don't know how you take that. He's seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand really well right now.
Foul ball, and it remains a full count. On a line, base hit. Brandon headed for the plate. Now a long throw home. But it's offline. And they take a 2-run lead.
That's a good job right there. You got 2 strikes on you. Just got to battle.
One down. Joe Brandon will hit next. There's a strike. Man at first, one away. And he bunts, but that's foul. Strike 2. And the 0-2. And ball 1.
I don't like to say he wasted a pitch. I think that was a purpose pitch. Change the eye level, have him look up. Now go back exactly where you want to go.
And a 1-2. Grounder might be 2. Can't glove it cleanly. Still slings it to second. There's 1.
Well, that was clearly a double play ball, but the bobble unfortunately prevented him from being able to get 2. But a good job to stay with it and make sure you got at least 1.
Joe Brandon, the next up for the Padres. And first offering is fouled off. That one back up the middle, and it gets through. And that'll put runners at the corners with 2 away. The throw is wild, and it gets away.
Now batting, shortstop, Joe.
So the San Diego batting order turns over, and now Joe Brandon. And that's through there for a strike. 0-1. Two on, 2 outs. The shortstop takes the ball.
1-1.
Swing and a foul back, and that's out of play. Blows the high heat past him. That's a strikeout. So 1 run in the inning on this base hit. It's now 4-2. You're watching Major League Baseball on the show. And we're back. John Sciambi with Chris Singleton in the booth. And leading off the bottom of the 6th, Joe Brandon. This one lifted in the air, left field. Brandon calls it in, and there's one away.
I think the key, if he can get through one more inning, anything after that, a hitter or two is bonus, but they should be lined up good enough to get to the finish line.
Random in the box now. No balls and a strike.
Well, he had a pretty good look at that pitch and not sure exactly what tied him up there. Couldn't pull the trigger, and perhaps the best pitch he'll see in this at bat to hit.
Lifted in the air, out to left, and there's 2 away.
Now batting, shortstop Joe Brandon.
And up next for Chicago, Joe Brandon. In the air, out towards right center. Brandon makes the play, and it's out number 3.
Now pitching for the
Righty
Cubs,
reliever out of the pen, Joe
number
Brandon.
4.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
And the batter now, Joe Brandon, 1 for 3.
Joe Brandon.
Random, a 6'2" righty. He features a 4-seam fastball, a changeup, and he occasionally uses a curve. Swing and a miss. He was late. Strike 2.
He's really trying to stay back for something off speed. That's why he was so tardy on that swing.
Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. And there's a rocket into the outfield. Makes the turn and heads for second. And he greets the new arm from the bullpen with a double.
Still able to come through behind in the count right there. He got that front foot down, and pitch recognition was on point. Pretty impressive for an 0-2 count.
At the plate, Jason Gillis. And he's going to make it to first, and we'll see how they score it.
The first baseman, number 1, Joe Brandon.
Joe Brandon getting ready to hit.
In the infield at the corners, don't be surprised to see them come home first and prevent that run from scoring.
There's the strike. Activity in the bullpen. Domingo Delgado up and throwing. Way out front for strike 2.
Well, in this situation with a runner on first, less than 2 outs, some say, hey, get the ground ball, double play with 2 strikes. Some people say get the strikeout. I think you just execute your pitch.
And that one gets away at the plate.
Well, you really can't blame him too much back there. I mean, you're asking him an awful lot to play what is easily the toughest defensive position on the field when that's not something he ever does. This is pretty much what you're going to get.
Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
The batter.
Joe Random digs in now.
This is all about situational hitting. It's crucial in this spot. Do whatever it takes to put the ball in play, and hopefully you find a gap in the defense.
There's a swing and a miss.
Just a bit tardy there. Not sure if he had a hard time picking it up out of the hand or if he was sitting off speed.
Close, but called a ball. And now it's even 1-1. Next offering is fouled back. Random at third. Gillis at second with 1 away. Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row.
Big strikeout right there, and that kind of takes the pressure off the defense a bit. Infield was in, so now they can move back, give themselves more time on a grounder to make a play. A lot more ways to work out of this and strand that runner at third now.
Random in now. Takes ball 1 off the plate.
1-0.
Next one misses. 2 balls, no strikes.
2-0.
Now a fly ball to right center. Random brings it in, and that's the 3rd out. Padres leave a pair as they can't add to their 4-2 lead. Bottom of the inning. So off now for Chicago, Joe Random.
Joe Random.
Fouled off. He was late.
You know, these Cubs finding ways to get on base, but they still need help driving them home. They've had their chances with runners in scoring position, but nobody's been able to deliver a big hit in those situations.
That one down the line, and that's just foul.
And you got to give some credit to the other side as well. They've been able to get out of a few tough jams, but frustration is mounting for this offense, no doubt.
Knocks it down. Low throw, pick, he's safe.
Up next,
And the Padres manager making his way towards the mound as he will make the move. Esteban Campos out of the game.
Well, Boog, as he leaves, he's got a shot at his first MLB win. He's going to need the rest of that staff to step up and preserve this narrow lead, though.
Joe Brando taking over on the mound.
Well, the best relievers love the opportunity to come in and protect the tight lead late in the ball game. Some of them are just wired different, so we'll see what he's got here.
So back to the top of the order, and now the DH, Joe Brandom. Gets the bunt down the right side. On to second, they get one.
That's a huge defensive play in the late stages of the game. It might not be the most challenging we've seen today, but it needed to be made. That's helping your team.
Here's the second baseman, Joe Brandom. 0 for 3 in this one.
Definitely wants to stay out of the double play here. Ball on the ground in the infield. Should be an inning-ending double play.
Lays down a bunt to the right side. Off balance throw in time. And that's an out on the sacrifice.
Those plays can be tricky. They're routine, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be smooth. He delivered a good play right there.
So up next, Joe Random. This is what stat nerds like myself might call a high leverage situation.
Yeah, Boog, not sure what the numbers say, but clearly an at-bat that could change the course of this game dramatically.
Bullpen action for the Padres. Vern Daly, the closer of the staff, is throwing.
Well, a come and get me fastball right there. He didn't look ready for the velocity. I think it'd be a mistake to throw him anything off speed right here.
The tying run at the plate. Check swing went around, and the count is 0-2. Got him! And that's the inning.
He's in a tough spot, had to make a great pitch, did it, got the strikeout, gets out of the jam. Clearly, he's happy with those results.
Now pitching for
Welcome
the Cubs,
back, and a new arm on the mound to start the eighth. Domingo Delgado. And this is the best way to make your major league debut. No one on base.
Yeah, you're already going to be a little nervous out there, so I think it's a nice job by the skipper to get him in here without any added pressure with traffic on the bases.
Joe Brandon now at the plate. 3 for 3, 2 singles and a homer. First offering, and it just misses. And another ball. Next offering in there for a strike. And it's 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Swinging a foul straight back. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Fouls it back with 2 strikes.
Pitcher having a pretty tough time getting that swing and miss. 3rd foul ball in a row.
Next offering is downstairs.
Good spot there, but didn't get the strike at the knees, and doesn't seem too convinced by the call out there on the mound as he tries to get a better sense of the umpire strike zone.
To the right side, Random sends it to first. First out in the top of the 8th.
The center fielder, number 11, Joe Random.
And now Joe Random. Check swing, called strike. The Cubs bullpen with some action. Joe Random getting loose out there. Swinging a foul out of play. That one not close.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's a ball and 2 strikes. And there's a ball.
2-2.
In the dirt, and it's 3-2.
Still just the 2nd batter of the inning, and on the mound he's already thrown 13 pitches. They got him working hard out there.
That's a good at bat right there. He was down early in that plate appearance. Works the walk.
Man, that's a tough one to take on the full count, but I guess he saw it really well. It's a really nice plate appearance.
So digging in, Joe Random. Drops a bunt down the first base side. They apply the tag, and the runner moves up to second.
Now batting, the shortstop, Joe Random.
And now Joe Random. a foul ball. Man on second, 2 down. Swing and a foul straight back. On the ground, right side, random. That ends the frame. Padres leave one, but they still lead this one 4-2.
Now pitching for
back
the
now, new pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the 8th. Joe Random.
Random.
Here's the catcher,
Leading
Joe
up
Random.
for the Cubs, the catcher, Joe Random.
Pitch misses inside, and that's ball 1. Swing and a ball lifted in the air, shallow right field. No trouble here, puts it away for the out. And there's one away.
Number 35, Joe.
So up next,
Random.
Joe Random. The bit behind with that swing. It's strike 1.
0-1.
And that's outside. And 1-1. The 1-1 is fouled off. That just misses. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes. To third. Dives and he can't hang on. Still able to get it there in time. And they come away with an out after a tricky start to the play.
Just a great effort all the way around at third base right there. Nice job to get a glove on it with the dive, but it was the recovery that was so impressive. If he doesn't hop to his feet and get the throw off in such a fluid motion over there, I kind of doubt he gets the out.
So 2 down now, and here is Joe Random. Just missed.
1-0.
Two down, nobody on. Foul ball. Swing and a miss, chased it out of the zone.
Looking very settled on the mound here in the 8th. One more out, and they'll probably hand it off to their closer for the 9th with at least a 2-run lead.
Swing and a ball lifted in the air, and that is that. We're back. It's the top of the 9th, and there's a new pitcher on the mound, Joe Random, on for his major league debut. So we'll see if he's ready for the big stage.
He just has to remember this is the same game that he's played all the way through the minor leagues to this point. The only difference, there are just more people in the stands, and it's a bigger stadium. But the game itself is still the same. Look at the catcher. Whatever fingers he puts down, that's what you throw, and just let him lead you in this one.
Movement in the Cubs bullpen. Joe Random up and throwing for manager Craig Counsell. Random warming up as well. Next offering is down low.
1-1.
The 1-1 is fouled off. On the ground, right side. And they get the leadoff man in the 9th.
Now batting, the second baseman, Jason Gillis.
Digging in, Jason Gillis. He was late there. Strike one. Base is empty, one away. Here at the top of the ninth. That just misses. Ball. And the count is 1-1.
1-1.
Out there to center. Puts it away for the out. And there's two down.
The first baseman, number 1, Joe Random.
Two down, base is empty. Joe Random will hit next. 1 for 4 with a double. Ground ball up the middle. Random. And that is that. 3 up, 3 down for him there. Bottom part of the order. 7, 8, 9. 2 up in inning number 9. It's the Padres 4 and the Cubs 2.
Now pitching for
Welcome
San
back,
Diego.
and here comes the closer,
Number
Vern
28.
Daly. A chance at his
Vern
first save of the
Daly.
year. Joe Brandon
Leading off
getting ready
for
to
the
hit.
Cubs, the left fielder, Joe Random.
That one a little bit high. Ball 1.
It's getting squeezed a little bit here late.
That misses the zone, and the count now 2-0. In the air, pretty deep out to center field. Random right there to make the grab. And there's
Now
one
batting,
down.
the shortstop, Joe Random.
He's 2 outs away. Random digs in now. That one the other way. Snags it for the second out.
The right fielder, number 16, Joe Random.
1 out left for the Cubs. And next for the Cubs, Joe Random. He's already homered here in this one.
Well, you got the number 9 hole hitter right here, looking to do whatever he can to get on base, turn this lineup over so the best hitters in this lineup have a chance to tie up the ball game or maybe even walk it off.
So 2 balls and no strikes. Inside corner, and that's called a strike. Next offering is fouled back. The Cubs down to their final strike. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and that is the ball game. Campos with his first major league win.
Yeah, nicely done. I'm sure he'll feel very good about that and get the ball for his trophy case, as he should. A start he won't ever forget.
And your final 4-2 for Chris Singleton and our entire crew here at MLB The Show. Thanks for stopping by. I'm John Shambi. Talk to you soon.